Hi everyone, this is Lovett here. I'll be going through the dat functions assignment. It says define functions that carry out the following. First one says a function with two arguments and returns the addition of both arguments. Okay, our return type is going to be int. Our method name will be some numbers with two arguments int num1, int num2. Then we would say int sum equals num1 plus num2. Then we return some numbers. So let's see the result of what we just did. Print some numbers 5 comma 5. What could be that? Int some numbers, int num1, int num2. Then we would say int sum equals, oh sorry, return sum. Okay, second question says a function with two arguments prints the division of both arguments but returns no value. So it returns no value, it has to be a void. Let's call it divide numbers. Int num1, int num2. Then we can say num quotient equals num1 divided by num2. You can say print quotient. So let's print divide numbers. This expression has type void and can't be used. Oh, my bad. Sorry. Okay, so what exactly are we doing here? We first created a function called divide numbers. It has no return type, so it has to be void. We're passing a parameter, two integer parameters. But here we're using a num type to, to print the result. This is because this sign, this forward slash sign, division sign, returns a double. So if we use an integer here, you're going to get an error. It says a value of type double can't be assigned to a value of type int. The only way, the another way this can work is adding this in front of it. When we run this now, we're going to get 5. But we might not be on a safe side if maybe 2 is here and 10 is here. Let's see what happens. Oh, it gives us 0. Okay, so but let's see, when we use num here, it gives us the double value. So I think it's safer to use num, depending on what your outcome is really going to be, what you really need your output to be. So next question says, a function with 4 named optional arguments that returns the multiplication of all arguments. Int multiply numbers, named optional arguments. Int num1, you have to give them an initial value because they are optional arguments. Int num2, int num3, int num4. When you say optional arguments, it means that even if you don't assign a value to it while calling the method, it goes back to its initial value when the method was created. So now we can say int product equals num1, num2, num3, num4, num okay, sorry, num4. Then you could say return int. So let's call multiply numbers 4, 3, 4, 4. Print. Okay. Oh, okay. So these are positional arguments. So we have to specify each of them. Num2, num3, num4. Okay. So I think this is it. So if we decide not to provide one of the arguments, let's see what happens. it gives us 0 because we didn't provide num4 and num4 here says 0, and definitely multiplying every other number by 0 gives you 0. So maybe we can give for an initial value of 2 here. Then since we didn't provide num4 here, it falls back to to the initial value when the method was created and picks the 2 as its value. So going to the last question, sorry about that. It says a function with one argument that prints your name, void print name, string name, print name. So here we can say, we can call print name, and I can put love it. Okay, so let's go over these functions again. A function with two arguments and returns the addition of both arguments. First, we created the function name, then some numbers, then we gave it a return type of integer with a passing two parameters, and then we created some variable num1 plus num2 equal to sum, then we return sum. For the divide numbers, a function with two arguments prints the division of both arguments but returns no value. Since it returns no value, it's going to have a void type. Then divide numbers, we passed into arguments num1 and num2. We use the num type to hold the quotient so that it can accept all possible all possible return. It's because this sign, division sign, this returns a double. If we use an int to hold this quotient, then we will need to add this sign in front of it if we have to change this to an int. So this all depends on actually what you want the output to be. So here, using num is safer. A function with four named optional arguments that returns the multiplication of both arguments. So here, to declare, to create an named optional argument, you have to use this, you have to add these braces, and then create each variable with an initial value, so that even if even if that argument is not provided when the method is called, it will fall back to its initial value. So here, we created the variable for the product and multiplied all the numbers. The next one says a function with one argument that prints your name, void print name, string name, then print name. I hope you enjoyed this assignment. Thank you.